Okay, I can get her number on Wednesday.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Today's event is based on the book A Garden from 100 Packets of Seeds by the poet James Fenton. James Fenton is a fine poet, and I was really interested when he wrote a book on gardening. So he identifies 100 seeds throughout the book and their connections with literature and art. So it's a lovely book. I always thought it was a book worth celebrating, so I'm glad I had the opportunity to talk around April is Poetry Month to honour the book and to honour James Fenton. The Roman philosopher and orator Cicero said that if you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. And I think that's really very true. If you have a garden and a library, you've got everything. And so sort of it takes into account nature and it takes into account knowledge. And that's together, nature and knowledge make for a fulfilled life, you could say. We're delighted to be part of April is Poetry Month. Kind of an idea that started with the Academy of American Poets and now has kind of moved around the world. When they started, their idea was that an aim kind of to raise an awareness of poetry and its place in culture and its place in life as well, and to foster a love of poetry as an art form. And I think that the work that Dominic Taylor does in the Limerick Writers' Centre in the city is very important in fulfilling that, and especially with April is Poetry Month. I want to thank Limerick City Council and their urban landscape expert, Manuel Smallis. He has, first of all, he arranged that we should have a planter outside the shop, and for today he has arranged that he also has given us a planter in which we're going to plant some flowers in a moment. The last person I want to thank is Seedaholic. They're a seed company in Galway. I like gardening myself, and I used to always go to Chiltern Seeds, so it's sort of very strange seeds that were in Suffolk in the UK. But when they closed down, I discovered that Seedaholic in Galway were doing exactly the same work. So if you want seeds that are a little bit different, go to Seedaholic. Okay, now it's my great pleasure to introduce Lujane Ananan. She's a postgraduate student of creative writing at UL. She's been in Limerick for 9 months. She's from Palestine, and she's been studying Mr. Fenton's book, and she's going to make 3 very brief presentations, and between the presentations we're going to plant some flowers in the planter. So, Lujane, the mic is yours.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be here, and also for you to be here. And I made this, event the rebirth, because we're planting flowers. We're giving birth again to hope, love, and memories. And I saw a line. It's called "A seed hides beneath the earth before it becomes a flower." When I first read this line, I said, it's not only seeds, it's also us. People often only see the result of our efforts, but they don't really see the hard work, the struggles, the challenges that we've been through along the way. Like seeds, we keep our growth hidden until we're ready to bloom. So now, I'll be reading some interesting lines from the beautiful book, A Garden from 100 Packet of Seeds by James Fenton, a poet and a gardener. And I will start with one line that I liked. First and foremost, flowers attract us by their colors. But of course, it's not us they're trying so hard to attract. It's the birds, butterflies, and those legendary night pollinating moths. And this line is very beautiful because I keep thinking about why flowers don't really care about attracting us. And it's simply because we're not part of their family. Flowers exist for a reason. They have a job to do. We're only the audience. So I think you're going down with the scene.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, I want to ask people to plant some flowers in our planter.
The seeds.
Yeah, some seeds on there. So the flowers will be later. Okay. So I put a few in your. At a time, okay? Yeah, one person at a time. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go first. Yeah. Scatter them around us. Okay. Oh, sorry.
You and I look like
3 sections in Eugene's presentation, so we go to the second part. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the second line, he says, "How beautiful are the retired flowers," wrote Keats in a famous passage. "How they would lose their beauty were they to thrown into the highway, crying out, 'Admire me, I am a violet. Dote upon me, I am a primrose.'" In fact, that is exactly what the flowers, even the retired flowers, are saying to their pollinators. So he said again, it's not for us, it's for pollinators. And he's speaking, praising his flowers, not because it's something really important, but it means a lot to love a flower, not to like it. Loving something means protecting it, keeping it alive. And this is what he's saying. Another line, "No one saw such colors unless it was in a flower, or a gemstone, or some extraordinary artifice such as purple dyed cloth." And this is one of the beautiful poetic lines. It's just giving examples, trying to praise something you admire and to work hard on it. And finally the last line. My definition, my non-definition of a garden must include a spectacular one that I saw last summer in Manhattan, which consisted of nothing but morning glories grown in a fire escape high up above the street. This line challenges the mean or the real idea of a garden. People think that a garden should be a green area full of flowers, but a garden is where it adapts, where it belongs, where you feel the art in it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eugene. That's a fantastic interpretation of James Fenton's book, and thank you for doing that for us. We have a top section to do. Yeah, that's fine. Before we do that, I want to thank Sarah, who's an intern with us from Eastern France, who's working with us at the moment. And I also want to thank the Books at One Foundation, who are funding some events here in this bookshop, and we're really grateful. We've got generous funding from the Books at One Foundation, and we're really grateful to them for the funding. So I will now ask Eugene to do her final presentation. Okay, thank you.
So, he says, a garden is not a canvas. This line is rich and very wise, because the author says that a garden is not like a painting. And me as a painter, I say that this is true, because you can control a painting. You can control the color, the scale, but in a garden, it's divine. You can't control it. Your garden is different in summer, winter, autumn, and spring. So So you can't control your garden. Just leave it adapt with its environment. For this list, I choose the admirable Alaska. It's a flower with its variegated leaves, and no two leaves ever the same. Each one a masterpiece. And I have to search for this leaf because he said it's a masterpiece. And look how detailed and specific his praising for his flowers. And when I saw the leaves, you will never find the leaves the same. And this is actually true. It feels authentic. I love a flower, says a friend, but I don't like plants. Flowers are not, this is what I interpreted, flowers are not a full plant. And I have to search that too. But they are still part of the plant. And sometimes they can be the most important part of the plant. It's the plant saying, I'm taking time, but look what I can do in that progress. The author then says, flowers can seem to come out of nowhere, bought, arranged, admired, chucked out. They are given no chance to approach us. He mentions that how human treats flowers by cutting or discarding them away without considering the hard work the seed had made to produce this progress and these beautiful flowers. After all that, a flower can't speak. It can't complain about that. And the last line. And this is actually says how to love and like something. That's not only about flowers, it's about everything. Loving a flower, loving someone, loving anything means protecting it, keeping it alive. When I looked at the shoe fly plant growing on its own in the surface of my drive, with its feet in rubble and clay, I think to myself, somewhere in the world, this thing must be an utter menace. Yet, here it grows, quietly, returning again and again. Its seeds lying dormant for years, waiting for the moment to come back to life. This line is very powerful because the author shows the beauty and the strength of environment. And that also shows the real thing he said, that a garden is never a canvas. You can't control it.
I think that Lucian has given us a brilliant presentation about the importance of gardening and the importance of flowers and mixing it with poetry as well. She was asked to do this just a week ago, and I just thought her presentation has been just superb, and I thank you for that. Okay, thank you all for coming along. I have some seeds. If anybody didn't get a pack of the seeds, did you get one, Linda? No, I'll give you one now. Yeah. So, and hopefully we'll have a few more people passing along later that we can distribute some seeds to as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah.